What's going on? It's Fist bringing you the news like I do, and we have the Call of Duty World at Advanced Warfare video. Now, this information was dropped about 11:30 last night, 12 o'clock midnight, somewhere Eastern time, and I did a full-blown live review with viewers on Twitch. There was like 200 or 300 people in that stream. I covered everything. I will post that live stream video on my Fist 2 channel. The links below in the description. But I wanted to cover it. I wanted to cover some of it in this video, like since yesterday, because basically what I had said in my stream yesterday was confirmed by the description by Amazon.com, which is selling the game, and you can go look at it. So I'm going to go in depth, not really in depth, but I'm going to talk about the multiplayer. Pretty much, I think this is the fastest that I've just basically figured out multiplayer out of any Call of Duty. I think Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Ghosts was my second fastest, and then Black Ops 2. I'm getting basically the video came out last night by midnight, and we figured out what multiplayer was going to be in Call of Duty Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, like within a couple hours. So I'm going to go ahead and break it down for you. For those who didn't watch the video, this is like the short version. So they take the 10-point system. You know, you're trying to figure out how do you reinvent it, how do you rehash it into the Call of Duty system. And basically what they did was moving the point system from your weapons and your perks. You know, I think it was Black Ops 2 was weapons, 10-point system with the weapons. And so they switched it over to in Call of Duty Infinity Ward, and they moved it to the I think it was the setup system, or whatever you want, the 10-point system with your setup. They basically just converted it over and gave it a different, you know, how could we make it to where you're doing a bunch of stuff with a certain amount of points? Basically, it's always been like that. And they just keep moving it over to something else. So my thinking was, following this train of thought, that Activision and the Call of Duty developers still haven't broken themselves from this. You see them put their 10-point system. Their 10-point system is the exosuit. So in the video, in the trailer, you'll see the exosuit has exo crawling hands, exo communication kit, exo invisibility face, exo blasto face, exo jetpack. So that's as far. So right now, this is either how it's going to wind up on multiplayer. You're going to have invisibility class exo, communication exo, blast shield exo, jetpack exo, and wall climbing exo. Now, I was hoping that based on how your exosuit, you develop it, whether you have the mask or the hands, I didn't see one character with both combinations of either wall climbing or jetpack. You can't have all those. So I'm assuming that they're going to have multiple classes, and you could just pick which one. What I was hoping for is that the exoskeleton would have certain amount of points that you could use with a certain amount of points that you could use with your weapon. So you would have a balance of combination between your exosuit and your weapon suit. But I don't think that Sledgehammer and Activision and Infinity Ward and all those guys are that clever. They weren't clever on the last. I had a great idea about the point system back then, and it turned out really plain. So I think you're just going to have certain exosuits that you could pick. I was hoping that if you didn't pick an exosuit, that your character would be an all gadget character. You know what I mean? Like you'd have like where she threw out the the UAV with a railgun on it, if you've seen that part in the video. And I covered all this right off the top of my head instantaneously in the live stream video last night. And I'm sure that everybody that was in the community who was watching my Twitter, I was the first one to, the video before this that you've seen, I was the first one to talk about the exosuits and Elysium and how it was total play on that. The other thing I want to touch on too is this. In regards to the exosuit that can climb and have turbo jump, you have to realize that with turbo jump, there's going to be the maps are going to be much more open. And if you're jumping around with a jetpack, it means that you're going to be going long distances. So by that deductive reasoning, we can assume that Sledgehammer, the majority of the maps, are going to be big. And when you have big maps, then you can assume that there's a 50% probability that warthogs and jet bikes or whatever, motor jet bikes, whatever you want to call them, are going to be in the game. So you're looking at a Halo-esque type 2 game with Blacklight Retribution type. All their setups were basically with the exosuit and the weapon setup combination is Blacklight. The HRV grenades are Blacklight. The Titan is Blacklight. The whole scheme of Titanfall was stolen from Blacklight, and Sledgehammer stole the Juggernaut guy. It's actually the carbon copy of a mini Titan that is from Blacklight. So, and anybody saying that it's copied from Titanfall, it's not. Blacklight was out before both of those games. So, the storyline, from the movie, there's actually excerpts from the trailer that are straight out of the movie Elysium. So, you can basically tell every part of the movie and all the stuff that they grabbed. They just put a Call of Duty engine style fluidity on it, and they stole the story from Elysium. They're gonna 50%. I say the 50% chance is gonna be Halo-esque because of jetpacks, because you need distance to jump, and if you need distance, you got to cover distance fast enough. You're probably gonna have those Warthog type trucks and those motorbikes, those hover bikes, whatever you want to call them, in the game. So it's a 50% probability. And one thing also is the ability to stomp people in this game. That's going to be completely new. Stomping people is from Unreal. You were used to be able to stomp people, or Doom. You was able to jump on people and stomp them. And so you can stomp people. So that's the answer to the slide and vaulting. The head glitching portable shield, I'm not down for it, and invisibility also. And so that basically covers it. I basically covered everything that's going to be in this game in my video live stream last night, all yesterday on Twitter. I covered it in the video before this, which told you what multiplayer is. We basically understand what multiplayer is. This is all based around the exosuit and the 10-point system balancing out with your weapon. That's what it is. That's what multiplayer is going to be. It's not going to be, let's wait until the game comes out before we make a judgment. No, I've been right every single year on multiplayer. I'm right now. It's going to be that way. And Treyarch's game is going to be World War II. I'm right about that too. You could just 2015 chalk this video up. Come back next year. I was right again. So, with that being said, what do I think about multiplayer that's coming up? I think that I think the graphics are decent. I don't even know if it's a real new engine, to be honest with you. But the main thing that I'm concerned about is how big the maps are. How does the exosuit points integrate with the weapon attachments and perks? And how big the maps are, and if vehicles are going to be in this game, Advanced Warfare. Those are my questions. The only thing that I have really questions about, 50% chance vehicles are going to be in the game. what is going to be the meta game, portable head glitching shields, and invisibility. Those are my only concerns. I don't mind super jump jetpack stomping, and I kind of looking forward to jetpack stomping people. You know, I mean, what Mythbusters is going to do a video on, hey, if you throw a grenade inside the jetpack, will it blow up? Can you shoot a guy while he's jump packing? You know, I mean, stuff like that. You know, I mean, that's going to be funny. But anyways, if you want to see the whole long stream that I did on, as soon as the information broke, I'm uploading that video from my Twitch channel to Fist2. And if you want to sit through that and listen to it, I show all the videos, we talk about it, slow-mo and all that. And you can see it there. And that's about it. You know, other than that, I mean, am I excited? Here's my overall opinion about Call of Duty. You know, you have engines like Unreal 4 and Crytek Engine out there. And I can use the same example as to, if you look at the history of video games, and you look at Mortal Kombat, I'm going to use Mortal Kombat as an example. If you go back to 1992, Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat 2, and then all of a sudden Mortal Kombat 3 came out with a run button. It was too much of a big change for the community back then. And then they went off to 3D, and they were like, oh, we got to keep doing stuff that's grandiose. Nobody's going to play our game. And then here we come, full circle. Ed Boon's Midway goes bankrupt. Warner Brothers comes and buys Ed Boon out. And what does he do? He makes Mortal Kombat 2 with combos, with the 3D background. It's all awesome. Went back to basics, and it was a hit. So the point of people saying that you got to come up with something new, no, you don't. You need to do what you do, and that is take the name Call of Duty, make a modern shooter, and go pay for the Unreal Engine. You know, people want. We're at the point right now where Call of Duty is so far out on a tangent. It's not Call of Duty. It's just a name now, just like Battlefield did to the Battlefield series when they had Battlefield 2 Modern Combat, when it was a great game. And then they went off on some tangent and started slapping Battlefield on every game they made. It's not Battlefield. Battlefield is Battlefield 2. I'm still waiting for Battlefield 3 Modern Combat. I could take right now Killzone, Battlefield 3 Modern Combat, Call of Duty 4 to Call of Duty 5. I can make any of those games the biggest games ever in the industry. But they don't get it. They're going straight out and extreme and try to just throw something at you. What they're trying to do is get you to shock buy or what do they call that? Impulsive buying. You see something, ooh, it's new, I gotta buy it. But it's really not what you want. You know, you're not buying. It's not what you want. It's not what I want. I mean, how do you bring in? And I don't want to hear this thing. Well, oh, it's for young people and blah blah blah. How are you bringing in Kevin Spacey if it's not for young people and all this, and you bring in this old actor, and nothing against him, he's a great actor, I love him in House of Cards, but you're bringing him in, and man, 13 or 14-year-olds know who the hell he is. So why would you, what are you talking about? So I don't even want to hear that story. There's tons of gamers out there that would like a serious military shooter on console. But there's a big, huge gap right now. You got Call of Duty off into the future with exoskeletons, and then you got Treyarch making a World War II game. There's nobody that is making a mid to small map modern shooter. Battlefield still doesn't get it. You know why they don't get it? Because their headquarters is in Sweden. They're the farthest east company. They're out of touch. They're not westernized. You might as well just stick them in Japan. And so, you know, they don't get what you can understand. America, and we are indoctrinated into. We've been fighting wars since 1776. We want a modern military shooter that is fun. You know what I mean? And that's what Call of Duty 4 was. Anybody with any sense out there who's a developer, all they would have to do is go get the Unreal 4 engine, copy Modern Warfare 2 Call of Duty 4, and they could put Call of Duty out of business. That franchise, and you know what? In Battlefield, everybody would be irrelevant in the first-person shooter market. But nope, they want to go off on some tangent. Not my business. I don't make the shot. I'm not the shot caller over there. But if any, and I'm telling you right now, if any of you companies, EA, DICE, Killzone, the people who run Killzone, Blacklight, Zombie Studios, Activision, any of you studios, the first studio that calls me and I come in your place of business or whatever office, it's over for everybody else. The first one that picks me up. You guys tried everything else. None of your ideas, none of it's working. You're just shock selling people. And as soon as you get them in the door, that's it. I mean, there's a difference between a customer and a client. A customer is you sell a piece of pizza. Hey, have a nice day. Goodbye. A client is somebody you continuously make money off of through the whole year. Why even try to sell DLC to people if you're just going to shock sell them? They're not going to buy from you after that. You baited and switched them. You juked them. They don't want you. So, anyways, I'm not excited about this new Call of Duty. I'm just not hyped. And you know, I think it's a great idea, but I just feel like it's not their own ideas. You know what I mean? So like if you're out there and you're playing these other games, you're basically saying, okay, the portable head glitching shield and the weapons, the way they look, are from Killzone. The idea of mini Titans and the exoskeleton with the loadouts is Blacklight Retribution. Your whole premise of your movie or your game is based off Elysium. You actually got cutscenes in the trailer where the guy has the pad on his hand that's in the exact movie blowing up the tank. Like you basically took that scene and just rendered over it with your characters. And then what do? You go grab Kevin Spacey, which has nothing to do with the generation of people who you're trying to sell the game to. Which is totally, I don't know I don't even get that. So I don't understand, like, I don't get where they're coming from or what they're doing. I don't understand how you are not in touch with your audience. I mean, people like myself have been telling you, make Modern Warfare 2 HD, make Call of Duty 4 HD. If you build it, they will buy it. Why do you think you've lost 20 million units in sales and you're spending more money in advertising Eminem, Kevin Spacey, blowing up NBA, all these events trying to keep your name out there? It doesn't work like that. Make a great game, they will come. That's it. Anyways, go over to the Fist 2 video. You'll see the live stream. I talked about it. Blah, 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 blah. I just went on a rant. And basically everything I said has come true. I surmise that when this game comes out, it's going to be nothing but exoskeleton shenanigans. So I think the weapons are irrelevant at this point. It's mainly, I think some of it is on a play of Titanfall that, people like parkour, but that shit died quick. Nobody's, you might as well just forget it. I mean, the wall climbing guy with the hand clings, I think that was added through Titanfall because of Titanfall. I think that's the only thing that they added that was stolen from Titanfall. Anything else, it just doesn't make sense because all the other games are out before Titanfall, so there's no way that they would add that in development. So anyways, that's my video for today. Check out Fist 2. Until next time, it's your boy Fist. Peace. I'm out.